Jennifer Lee, I am so happy you're here.
I am so excited to be here, Shealagh. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't be
Oh
in
my
the
goodness.
position to be able to manage something of this scope without your generous support and your total genius.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they really enliven creativity. Everything that you've done has enlivened my own sense of creativity and brought back the kind of life that I really wanted to have after leaving my employment and venturing out. So thank you for that.
Oh yay. Well, thank you for like being inspired and then of course taking the action so that we have this, your creation. And I love supporting people and they're making their big visions come true. So that's why I'm extra happy to be here.
Oh, thank you again for making the time. So, Nurture Purpose, of course, is a perfect place to have you come in with your wisdom and with your guidance, because that's kind of what you do. You really nurture that sense of vocation and creativity in people.
Mhm.
And so I know that I've been following you for quite a number of years. Actually, I think the very first summit that I caught of yours was really like maybe 7 years ago, or even six, maybe something like that. And so I've really kind of been tracking your journey. I've seen you on video, I've seen you on the courses that are on your website, and I've also, had a chance to connect with you via both, speaking on the phone and email and that type of thing. So I really thought it would be great to ask you about self-nurture,
Great.
given all the things that you do. And so one of the big pieces of this retreat is to give people a really powerful message from their community that it is okay to really take the time for self-nurture and bump it up the list. And so I wanted to ask you just to share maybe an experience that was maybe something profound for you, that you wanted to have self-nurture, um, up the list and it needed to be a priority, and what happened.
Yeah. I actually have a couple of examples. The first one, funny, you mentioned the summit because for 5 years I ran a live video summit that went for like 2 weeks, and I was live every day. And I loved it. I mean, I got to meet great people like you, and we have, an awesome community that would get to come together live and connect and learn together. I loved it. And it was also a lot to manage, as I'm sure you know, leading this. Um, and I was also starting to experience some health issues. I think it was in 2013 that I started having some joint pain and fatigue. So I did my first video summit in 2011, and then 2013 I started having some of these health issues.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then like by 2014, I'm like leading the summit and like halfway through, like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna like show up, perky the next day and
Yeah.
lead this? But I also loved it so much, and I knew how much that it meant to the community and also how it helped my own business. So I was determined to just push through
Mm.
because that's kind of the way I was operating for, the definitely in my corporate background, and then coming into my business, the first part of it, really pushing and driving. So that was kind of my mode, just
Mm.
push through. But in 2015, I decided this is going to be my last one because I want to have more balance. And, even though people were so sad to see it go, and
Yeah.
there's a part of me that, had to mourn that loss of that live community, but the cost, was outweighing the benefits for myself. And then if I can't be there fully, that's not really serving the community. So that
Right.
was a big decision to put that to bed.
Yeah.
But it definitely helped train me to say, like, it's okay to let something go, even if it's going well,
Yeah.
um, because it also is kind of creating room for me to expand into really what does it mean to embrace ease. And I would talk a lot about that. But that really helped me create space in my schedule. Like there's definitely less sticky notes on my calendar. Um, yeah, so that was one major time that was probably the first major time that I decided to prioritize
Yeah.
nurturing
Yeah.
myself and also, in some ways my business by doing that.
Yeah. So it sounds like just from what you've said, that there might have been some barriers to doing it, like the cost of the live community and that connection, and
Right.
that there was maybe inner barriers of I would imagine pushing yourself to, like you say, push through and do. And that's
Right.
a big barrier, is my internal, my self-talk. Like,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah. Or all the expectations I have on myself, or,
yeah.
what am I if I don't have this? Like I kind of became known for that. And
Mm,
then people had asked me like, well, what are you doing now? It's like, well, that's not like my entire business. That's
yeah.
not,
Yeah.
that's just one piece of it. But so there was definitely identity pieces that I had to
Mhm.
wrestle with as well.
Yeah.
And then just like fear of missing out, like, oh, I see all these other people are doing it. Like, oh, now I'm like not part of the party, but again, reminding myself that this was, the right choice for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there were some payoffs, I'm assuming, like obviously more room in your schedule. Do you
Right.
recall any other payoffs that happened when you decided to do that?
Yeah, definitely more room in my schedule. And then also I was able to like repackage the material so that I could still milk it for the value that it had, but not have to do anything live. And that was like a great revelation. I think I did that a couple of times. And so it was great to then see, oh, there's still life. Like you can get creative about how you repurpose your material. And that
Absolutely.
really, yeah. So that was like, this is awesome. Because I did it for the 5 years. And I think there was like two, yeah, 2 years worth of like, what else can I do with this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I know I bought the the package of
Did
the,
you?
the full meal deal kind of thing of all.
Yeah. Yeah. I did like a special for like $20. Like, this is going bye-bye. Gotta get it.
I was like, what? And I was so thrilled because a part of that package was actually where you gave us some great guidance and tips around doing something like a live summit or
That's right. Yes.
and
Yes.
I have been using them
Oh
faithfully.
my God, I love it. I love just hearing like if one person, if you, Shayla, like took from that, because that was my intention. I'm like, I'm going to repackage this because it can be like this way to dissect, a
Yes,
successful summit.
yes.
So yay.
Definitely fostered it. And Claire as well, Claire Hewitt, she's, taking that on
Yes.
well now. And
Great.
from now that I'm doing it, I'm hearing echoes of other people that I'm connected with that are
Mhm.
now like, oh yeah, well I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, I love that it's like, sure, it was sad to put that version of it to rest.
Yeah.
And yet it still had a life. And even though I've like put that product to bed,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that it has, legs out there in the community, that just, oh, that makes me so
I
happy.
I know, me too. Because I was very sad to see the summit go. So to feel the roots of it, sort of coming back up as a new bulb, in the spring is really
Totally.
beautiful feeling for
Yeah.
me.
I mean, it felt like it was time for other people to take the reins as well. So love that you're doing this.
Yeah. And so the other thing I wanted to ask you about is this other, I know you had another example, yeah,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what, that's something more recent that happened. And
Right. Yeah. So letting go of the summit was, a big deal. And it gave me like confidence to know, oh, it's okay to let things go and things will be okay. So in 2000, toward the end of 2016, heading into 2017, I knew I was wrapping up my mentorship program. It usually wraps up like in the spring. And I had decided, I think that the mentorship program is at a place of completion,
right.
which was a big deal because I ran that for 5 rounds. And that was my big long-term, group program.
Yeah.
But I was actually feeling pretty drained from like having a team to manage to help me deliver it. And I was really craving more simplicity and again, more spaciousness. So I had made the tough decision to say, I'm going to put mentorship to bed too. Um, and fortunately, well, I had made that decision. Unfortunately, afterwards, I had found out that my dad had stage 4 lung cancer. And so normally when I would have been promoting, like I had this whole cycle of like the schedule that I was on, because I did it so many times. I knew exactly what needed to happen. Um, the time that I would have been in heavy promotion, if I had chosen to do the program again, was exactly the time that he went into hospice. So I was so glad that somehow my future self knew that you got to clear your calendar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was able to really easily, back out of work because I didn't have all these calls that I would have to always do when I was running the program. And I got to spend, his final days, I got to spend with him and really be there when he passed. And that was so powerful. And it was, it wasn't easy to be there and to experience that, but it was relatively easy for me to pull myself out of my business and still have things keep running because it was pared down.
Yeah.
But gosh, that was really a blessing to have the timing worked out.
Yeah.
And then that really helped me to just let go. So a lot of 2017 was just like decompression, also, grief and loss. And then also wrestling with identity. And then in 2018, I kept the kind of bare bones and just really focusing on one-on-one coaching. I'm like, oh my God, I love, like, my calendar is so empty. I love this. And I really embrace, like, I want more of this. And success to me at this point is now, instead of like hitting all these, moolah milestones, because I was really on the track, like, okay, 6 figures. Okay, now multiple 6 figures, hit that. And now actually having time to just, go and exercise or take care of myself, that right now is gold.
Yeah.
So it's like reprioritizing. And yeah, I'm really excited to just be embracing working less and having that be a measure of success for me right now.
I love that. Yeah, I absolutely, you know, as you were speaking, I could really relate to, I lost my mom in the same year,
Right.
and just having pulled away from my full-time work before that, and having been able to be there for her was really important. So my heart goes out to you for that loss, because it's one of those really big ones, and um,
Yeah.
it reverberates throughout everything that we are and what we do. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
I mean, it certainly helps you like look at priorities,
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the payoffs for you, like even just seeing you on screen and seeing how you are, it feels like something inside you feels more settled, or more yeah, more here now. I don't,
Mhm.
not to quote anyone else, but being here now, it feels like you are, like, your presence, as always, as powerful as it was a real driving force,
Mhm.
and now it's just this real rooted type of
Mm.
thing that I'm experiencing right now.
Oh, thank
It's-
you. It's
yeah,
really cool to hear that feedback, that it's like what I'm working on is actually reflected, like have that reflected back to me. So thank you. I appreciate
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Especially because I do watch a lot of your older videos, and when I'm going through product development or any other purposing stuff,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
and so I can see, I can kind of feel the difference. And
Cool.
and
Okay.
I know that you did take a meditation. I think you're a certified meditation instructor now. Is that right?
I did a short program with Susan Piver in 2016. So I'm certified through her, the Open Heart Project. And I just am going to be starting a 2-year meditation teacher program with Jack Cornfield and Tara Brock.
Oh, that's amazing. I was
Yeah.
thinking about doing that one too. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. I'll let you know. I have a colleague who's been through the first round when they offered it a couple of years ago. So I've been learning a bit from her, but I'm super excited, and I know it will have some, impacts into new offers that I have. So we'll see. I have no idea what it
Yeah.
will look like, but of course that's part of being with the unknown.
No,
So,
I actually love that because, you know, the whole intuitive piece and the embracing ease and all of the gentler sort of supports that your programs and books and that offer
mm,
are such a balm for the soul when you're
mm,
in business, right?
right.
And I, you know, one of the other speakers is actually going to take that course as well. And, you know, you can just feel the difference when you're in the presence of someone who has shifted priorities in that way.
Mm,
You know, that it's not the more and the, you know, uh, more and more and more, I guess I want
right.
to.
Yeah.
And so I'm really thrilled that there's quite a few people that are on this retreat that help me remember that part of myself, you know, that
Mm.
way of being.
Yeah, actually, I have a couple of visuals that I think would be fun to show, just
Yeah,
in speaking about the creativity that also kind of show that transition. Because
great.
I've done, you know, my right brain business plans. I can't remember how many I have at this point. There maybe are like 6 of them. Um, but let's see, this one, I think this was back in 2013.
Mm.
And as you can see, this was when I was like, I want to make, you know, multiple 6 figures. And
Go,
then all
go.
the team members and the community. And then this was like speaking
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
stage. And I actually got to show this on stage. I shared the stage with
Wasn't it
Elizabeth
emerging?
Gilbert and Alanis Morissette at the first Emerging
Emerging
Women
women.
Conference.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I watched it.
So yay. So that was like when I had that real outward energy, like, yeah,
Yeah,
let's get all these things done.
yeah. I
Um,
actually know Alanis Morissette. I actually have
oh,
done a massage for her.
wow, that's awesome.
Really.
She
Yeah,
is so inspiring.
he is. He
And
gave.
then this is my current one. And as you can see, it is so different. So it's like the
Oh,
upside of doing nothing.
yes.
Sacred pause.
Mm.
It's just a lot quieter. And even the
Oh,
money one
cool.
is just
Oh, I
so
love
much more
that. The
grounded.
last one.
Yeah.
Last two. That's the trees too.
Yeah. And so there's just a real settling into what I've created and kind of having a phase of really looking inward
Mm-hmm.
um, to then see what's next. So it's like I've seen my business kind of ebb and flow in terms of outward, inward. Like when I had to write my books, I definitely had to like go inward and then come out. So I'm in the phase of just, you know, being really relishing that nurturing myself.
Yeah, wonderful. I love this. And any particular payoff since you just, you know, circling back to when you let go of the mentorship program,
Mm.
you know, did you know, like, definitely, obviously, the huge piece of it was time with your father.
Mm-hmm.
And did you notice any other ripple effects throughout this year, this past year, that you're aware of or want to share that?
Um, well, again, definitely the spaciousness and
Mhm.
having time. Like, I've loved not having to be like on a call at like 12 noon every Wednesday, you know, leading something and have to put on makeup and all that kind of stuff. But I still am, you know, working with awesome clients. So the other benefit has been now I have more capacity to work more deeply one-on-one. And so I've been really enjoying that because I'm in more of an internal energetic place. Like leading a group actually doesn't feel in alignment right now. And
Yeah.
so like the one-on-one is just like really juicy for me. And it had been a while since I could really, you know, go deep with people
Mhm.
one-on-one. So that's been really exciting
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have
I
that.
know it's so rewarding. It's
Mm-hmm.
so rewarding to see people's, you know, transitioning and
Right,
growing and
right.
super inspiring.
Um, and then just, you know, time to dedicate to this meditation teacher training program because you know there's calls for that I have to show up on, but I'm not leading them. I get
Yeah.
to be a participant. And then, you know, there's homework and all that stuff, so I'm kind of back in school for that. So
Yeah.
I've created some space so that I'm not stressed out about having to do that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Personal development stuff. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Well, great payoffs. And so I know the next piece that we'll do will be something that you'll guide. And I know you also have some visuals for that as well. I was thinking that if there's any setup that you wanted for people in terms of, you know, pillows, blankets, chairs, I don't know what you want to.
Sure, yeah. If you want to have, we'll be either sitting in a chair so you can stay in your chair, or if you prefer lying down and you want to be nice and cozy, I'm all about comfort. So grab a pillow. You might want a blanket if you get cold. And then I guess I will give you the PDF that they can print out. So
Right.
I guess I'll show it now so they know which one to print out.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Yeah, that'd be
So there's a play sheet that looks like this,
okay.
body check-in play sheet. So if you can maybe print that and have that with you, um, and something to write with. But the first part really will just, all you need is your body.
Yeah, so far I think everyone will have one of those coming
Yes,
up.
I think so.
Okay, so that will be a wrap for the interview piece here now, so that people can actually go and grab maybe a drink of water or use the facilities or that kind of thing. And Jennifer and I can probably warm up our teas and whatnot as well. So we'll leave you there, and thank you so much for sharing from your personal experience.
Thank you for asking and having this forum to really talk about stuff that I feel like we need to be talking more about.
Yeah, it really helps us all. So I'm hoping, I know it helps me to hear, you know, all the stories that I've heard in the last little while and doing recordings. And yeah, it's making me know that this is the right thing at the right time.
Yeah.
The way it's impacting people. So, okay, so we'll give you a break and we'll see you in a minute or maybe 2 minutes.
Okay.